Hello everyone, and thank you for coming to our gathering today. We're here to celebrate the 50th anniversary of the 1972 Citizens Initiative that established a 30-foot height building limit within the San Diego coastal zone. That's the purpose of this gathering today. The amazing efforts of a small group of people back in 1972, 67% of the people voted for it after they walked the neighborhoods and got it on the ballot. And it was sparked by the building you see behind us. That's what started it all. Buildings like this is what they were trying to prevent. Much of the coast along the east coast and the Gulf Coast has been monetized today. If anybody ever visits there, you'll see nothing but large hotels and luxury condominiums. And it spoils the beauty of the whole beach, and it limits the kinds of people that can actually come and enjoy it. They haven't had the kind of protection that we have here. Our group is working with several groups, and we have some speakers here today. Our group is Keep the Coast 30. And we have a number of people here today that are going to speak. We're speaking against and protesting Measure C, the ballot initiative to remove the 30-foot height limit in the Midway area. And this group is just part of a 50-year fight to defend the 30-foot height limit. It's been going on for 50 years. It's been attacked continuously. So our message is very uncomplicated. We believe that if you take part of the 30-foot height limit in the area that it's in now, in no time, it's all going to fail. And so we believe that this effort to remove it in the Midway area is just the beginning of the end. And pretty soon, if we don't stop it and if we don't vote against Measure C, you're going to see a lot more about what we see up here.
And as Jeff said, I represented this community for 6 years in the legislature, but more importantly, I grew up here in San Diego. I have spent my life in San Diego, and I have seen the problems with density in these beach communities. I lived just a block away from here when I was in the legislature, and I saw the problems we already face when we have too many cars, too much congestion. But my real concern with this project is, frankly, the pay-to-play corruption that is taking place. And that's why I have requested and filed a formal complaint with the City Ethics Commission regarding the Midway Rising lobbyist process. They paid over $100,000 to lobby the mayor and others to get their deal passed. Over $100,000 that we know of went to the mayor directly for his campaign. So we're looking at probably $250,000 by the time all this comes out. And the problem with doing that is the lobbyist report was not filed until after the vote on the project. 3 separate reports were not filed, disclosing over $115,000 going in lobbying. And the person, Gil Cabrera, responsible for filing those documents is Mayor Todd Gloria's principal officer for the mayor's political action campaign. This is the cronyism that voters dislike. This is the, frankly, corruption that our city ordinance is set up to fight. And Gil Cabrera is now under investigation at the Airport Authority, where he also violated their ethics rules for soliciting campaign money for the mayor's political committee in violation of the Airport Authority's rules. What does this have to do with Midway Rising? This is part of the pay-to-play, what I call the slot machine development deal. The lobbyists put money into Mayor Todd Gloria's campaign. The lobbyists put money into their efforts to influence his decision. They don't report it. They can put that money in, but they have to report it. And when they don't do that, it denies the public their right, our right, to the transparency of how this process is taking place. Yeah. We are here because we are celebrating the success. We played by the rules as voters in 1972. We played by the rules when we protected the coastline from density. Mayor Todd Gloria and Gil Cabrera are violating the law and breaking the rules in order to get that density they so desperately want. This is a payoff, pure and simple. This is corruption, pure and simple. And that's why I have filed a formal complaint with the City Ethics Commission. That's why Gil Cabrera is not only being investigated by the Airport Authority, but now he's being investigated by the city of San Diego. This is a pattern. This is not a one-off. We celebrate protecting the coast, and what do? They break the law to try to overturn the will of the people. 2/3 of San Diego voters approved protection, and now they are breaking the law to try to overturn the will of San Diego voters. That's why we're out here, because they are using corruption, they are not following the ethics rules, and we are saying enough is enough. As people cast their votes, they need to know their mayor and his associates, Midway Rising, they are doing pay-to-play politics, pay-to-play development deals. And before you cast your vote, ask yourself, how much money is it worth to you to protect the quality of life in San Diego? And make sure that it's not overturned by the millions developers are willing to put in. And we will litigate this, we will fight this, we will investigate this, and we will block this proposal.
Thank you, Lori. Scott Chipman, a co-founder of Save PB, Save Pacific Beach, as well as I've been on the planning group in Pacific Beach for 12 years, not representing the planning group here today. I'm representing the longtime citizens who have seen politicians and elected officials come and go. They make promises that are not kept. The promise right now, it's only going to be the Midway Zone. That's bad enough. We don't want the Midway Zone to become Miami Beach. We don't want all of Pacific Beach and the coastline and Mission Beach and Ocean Beach and Point Loma to be turned over to developers who do things like what we're seeing behind us. 140-foot structure right on the boardwalk. Everyone who looks at that building says it's inappropriate. This was protected in 1972, so this kind of development would not continue to happen, but right now we're under attack. Prop D was in 1972 was certainly a citizens' initiative, brought forward by citizens, voted overwhelmingly by citizens. This Prop C is not a citizens' initiative. This is just a way of pay to play for the developers. We urge San Diegans all over the coastline, all over the inland, all over inland, all San Diegans should vote no on Prop C. Now, if you're living inland, what do you want to see when you come to the beach? What do you want to see when you come near the coast? Do you want to see buildings like this, or do you want to see the ocean, the beauty of the coastline? We say vote no on C, protect the beauty of the coast. Thank you very much.
I'm a resident of Point Loma. I was born and raised in San Diego, but moved away and lived in a lot of different places. And as always, I came back to San Diego because it's gorgeous here. Who wouldn't want to live here? In 2006, my husband and I looked for property in Point Loma. And the reason I'm mentioning this is because I'm really sick of hearing about this affordable housing if they break the 30-foot rule, that is needed. There is no affordable housing. They pulled that with Liberty Station in 2005, 2006, and I know that because we were looking for a house to live at that time. We didn't buy in Liberty Station. The houses are like this. They're high, there's no yard, there's no room. The houses in the community were cheaper than what they were selling. The houses in Liberty Station were over $1 million, some of them. It's crazy. Now they want to break a 30-foot rule that's been enacted, and for 50 years it was voted in by the voters. Who are these people? Say no with us. Vote no on Measure C with us. Thanks.
No on C. No on C. No on C. No on C. No on C.
I want to thank everyone for being here tonight. And again, the message is clear. The city has set a precedent with these land use deals. Time and time again, the taxpayers, the community is on the losing end of these deals that they have, with public land and public resources being sold out to the highest bidder. And we're here to say enough is enough. San Diego is America's finest city, but we cannot sustain these unsustainable development policies that will rip apart our communities and rip apart the coastal access. You know, people come to and from the inland to the coastline to enjoy the most equitable activity you can have here in Southern California, a visit to the beach. And we are very concerned that this development will impede the ability of coastal access and people wanting to visit our coastline. So we ask that you educate yourself. Please stand in line with the community and vote no on C.
Happy birthday to the 30-foot height limit.
No on C!
No on C.
All right.
No on C. 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 No on C.